Hey everyone, ready for an adventure?
Always. Where are we headed today?
We're diving deep into San Francisco, a city that's so much more than just tech and sourdough. We're going to peel back the layers and uncover what makes it truly unique.
It definitely has layers. I think even people who think they know the city will find some surprises here.
You've probably heard about those San Francisco
Oh,
hills,
yeah.
48 of them. What does that actually mean for the city, like for the character of the city and what it feels like to be there?
Well, it's not just the workout. Walking up and down those hills, those 48 hills shape everything. They create these amazing viewpoints that pop up unexpectedly as you're exploring. And they give the city this unique mix of urban grit and nature. I mean, where else can you be huffing and puffing up a steep street and then, bam, suddenly you're rewarded with a panoramic view of the Pacific Ocean?
It's like the city is constantly revealing itself to you. And then there's that famous fog, Karl the Fog.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge kind of emerging from that mist. It's almost otherworldly.
It's almost mystical.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Golden Gate Bridge, definitely iconic landmark, nearly 2 miles long, that international orange.
Yeah.
A must-see for sure. But to really get San Francisco, you got to go beyond those postcard-perfect images. Like, take Alcatraz Island, for example.
Alcatraz, it's not just a former prison.
Nope.
It's a national park now.
It is.
That's a real juxtaposition, a place with such a dark history, but now offering these views back toward the city.
Exactly. You're standing on that island, you're surrounded by the bay, you can almost feel the weight of the stories there, those infamous inmates, the escape attempts. You know, it's a stark reminder of a different era. But then, there you are, with this amazing panorama of San Francisco in the distance. It really shows the city's ability to transform.
It's amazing how layers upon layers of history are just like embedded in the city. And speaking of distinct layers, San Francisco's neighborhoods each have like a really strong personality. Chinatown, for example, is the largest outside of Asia. I'm imagining markets, temples, and incredible food.
You can't talk about Chinatown without mentioning that Dragon Gate entrance. It's like you're stepping into a different world. And yeah, the food scene there, phenomenal. A real journey for the senses.
And then there's the Haight-Ashbury district, still radiating those summer of love, bohemian vibes. It makes you wonder how a place can hold on to that energy for so long.
The Haight-Ashbury, it's like a time capsule of counterculture history. Walking those streets, you can practically feel the echoes of that era.
And for a totally different vibe, there's the Mission District. I've heard so much about the murals, especially in Balmy Alley. They reflect so much of the neighborhood's history and social consciousness.
The Mission District is a visual feast. Those murals are incredible. And the food scene, legendary. You can't go wrong with a burrito from La Taqueria. It's a Mission District institution.
So we have these vibrant neighborhoods, each with its own story. But what set the stage for all this? What shaped the San Francisco we know today?
That's where the gold rush comes in. It's not just a historical event. It's like the thing that transformed San Francisco from this sleepy outpost into a busy, bustling city. It brought people from all over the world, and it fueled this amazing diversity and entrepreneurial spirit that you can still feel in the city.
It's like that gold rush energy just morphed into today's tech boom. You can't talk about San Francisco without talking about Silicon Valley. Giants like Apple, Google, Facebook, all born and raised in the Bay Area.
That's what's so cool about San Francisco. It's constantly playing with the past and the present. The gold rush, the rise of Silicon Valley, it's all woven together. You feel that energy in the city's startup scene, those conferences buzzing with new ideas. It's in the air.
There's definitely a buzz and excitement you don't find everywhere. But what I find really interesting is how, alongside this technological drive, San Francisco also has this incredible natural beauty. It's not just buildings and concrete.
Right.
It's got some amazing green spaces.
Absolutely. Golden Gate Park is a prime example. Bigger than Central Park. Gardens, museums, even bison roaming around. It's an unexpected oasis of nature right there in the city.
Bison in the city. That's not something you see every day. It's like you can experience like multiple worlds within a single city.
Right.
You can walk through a Japanese tea garden, get lost in art at the De Young Museum, then stumble upon a herd of bison, all in an afternoon.
It's that element of surprise that keeps things fun. And if you're looking for something even wilder, hop across the Golden Gate Bridge to Muir Woods. Imagine being surrounded by these towering redwoods,
Yeah.
some of the tallest trees on the planet.
Now that's a change of scenery. And if I wanted some ocean views, where would I head?
Land's End is a must. Coastal hikes, dramatic cliffs, even the ruins of the Sutro Baths. It's this rugged, windswept side of San Francisco most people don't expect.
Sounds like a whole other world. And speaking of diverse experiences, let's talk about food. The San Francisco food scene seems like such a delicious reflection of the city's culture.
It is. You've got the classics, of course. Fisherman's Wharf with that clam chowder and sourdough bread bowls and fresh Dungeness crab. And no trip to San Francisco is complete without a visit to Boudin Bakery to see how they make that famous sourdough.
That sourdough is legendary. But I'm sensing there's so much more to the food scene than just those classics. What else makes San Francisco's food unique?
It's all about fresh, local ingredients and a spirit of culinary innovation. The Ferry Building Marketplace is a perfect example. It showcases the best of Northern California's farms, from artisan cheeses to local produce, and the views of the bay from there are just amazing.
Okay, starting to get hungry. But before we eat all the food, we need to get around this city. And what better way to do that than on one of those cable cars?
Nothing like riding a cable car in San Francisco. It's the last manually operated cable car system in the world, a piece of living history, and the perfect way to experience those hills and get a glimpse of those colorful Victorian houses.
Speaking of Victorian architecture, you can't miss those painted ladies in Alamo Square. Those colorful houses with all the intricate details, they're quintessential San Francisco.
They're a testament to the city's resilience, surviving that 1906 earthquake.
Right.
And so charming. They really add to that unique look of the city.
So we've talked about landmarks, neighborhoods, history, nature, food, even transportation. What really makes San Francisco tick? What defines its soul?
That's the big question, isn't it? I think it's that unique blend of contrast you find here. Tech leaders and artists, activists and entrepreneurs, wealth, and unfortunately also homelessness. It's all part of what San Francisco is.
It's that complexity that makes it so fascinating, so human.
Exactly. That constant push and pull gives it a unique energy.
Like, take the Castro District,
Yeah.
a historic center for the LGBTQ+ community where Harvey Milk made history. It shows the city's commitment to social justice and inclusivity, but it also has challenges like any neighborhood.
It does.
It reminds us that San Francisco is more than just a pretty picture. It's a city that pushes boundaries, grapples with tough issues, and is always striving to create a better future.
It's a city that never stops evolving, but it never forgets where it came from.
And that's what makes it so compelling. It embraces its complexities, its challenges, which I think we can all relate to on a personal level.
Definitely. It's that push and pull that makes it so vibrant. So someone's heading to San Francisco, armed with all this knowledge about the city. Where do they even start?
That's the thing, right? There's no one right way to experience San Francisco. It really depends on, like, what speaks to you? What are you passionate about? Are you a history buff?
Yeah, if you're into history, dive into the Gold Rush era,
Yeah.
the Wells Fargo History Museum,
Yeah.
or you know what, take a walking tour of the Barbary Coast. It's like stepping back in time.
Totally. Or maybe you're drawn to art and culture.
Yeah.
You could spend days exploring the De Young Museum, the Asian Art Museum, SF MoMA, the list goes on.
And if you love being outdoors, there are tons of adventures. Hiking the trails of Mount Tamalpais, kayaking in Tamales Bay. You can even go whale watching. It's all right there.
See, this is what I love. It caters to every interest, every personality. You can be super active or just chill. Catch a Giants game at Oracle Park, sip cocktails in some hidden speakeasy. Just wander Golden Gate Park. The options are endless.
It's a city that never stops surprising you. Even if you think you know it, there's always a hidden alley to explore, a quirky little shop you've never seen before, a view that just takes your breath away.
That sense of discovery is what keeps people coming back, right?
For sure. Oh, speaking of getting around, we've talked about those cable cars.
Yeah.
But San Francisco actually has a really good public transportation system.
Yeah.
BART, Muni, the streetcars, they can take you pretty much anywhere.
And you can always walk, although those hills can be a bit of a workout. But hey, think of it as a built-in workout, right?
Yeah, just think of it as a way to earn those views. But honestly, San Francisco is pretty walkable, especially if you're exploring neighborhoods like North Beach or Hayes Valley. And if you're up for it, rent a bike.
Yeah.
Cruise along the Golden Gate Promenade.
Oh, so nice. You know, we haven't even talked about Golden Gate Park in detail. It's like a city within a city.
It is. We mentioned the Japanese tea garden, the De Young Museum.
Yeah.
But there's so much more. The Conservatory of Flowers, the Shakespeare Gardens, Stowe Lake. You could easily spend a day there and not see everything.
And for families, the California Academy of Sciences is a must. It's an aquarium, a planetarium, a natural history museum, all in one.
It's the best place to get kids curious, spark their imaginations. And speaking of imagination, That's what San Francisco does so well. It sparks that sense of wonder and possibility.
It sounds like you need at least a week, maybe two, to even scratch the surface.
I'd say that's accurate. And even then, you'll probably leave wanting more, feeling like you've only just begun to uncover its secrets.
But that's part of the allure, right? Wanting to come back for more.
For sure. San Francisco is a city that stays with you. Even after you've left, it stays in your thoughts, your memories, your dreams.
It's like that friend who always has a new adventure planned, the one who always leaves you feeling energized and inspired.
A friend with 48 hills,
Yeah.
a foggy personality, and a heart of gold.
I love that. Speaking of hearts of gold, I think it's time we talk about the people. Because the city is so much more than just its landmarks. It's the people who make it come alive.
So true.
Huh.
And San Francisco is known for its people. Diverse, eclectic, sometimes a little eccentric.
Yeah.
It's a magnet for dreamers, artists, entrepreneurs, activists, you name it. People from all over the world.
And it's that mix, all those personalities and perspectives, that creates such a cool, unique vibe. You've got techies and hippies, artists and, financiers. Everybody finds their place here, united by their love for this incredible city.
Yeah, it's a city where you might strike up a conversation with a stranger in a cafe and end up talking for hours about philosophy or politics or the best burrito in town.
Exactly. And you just never know who you're going to meet. Could be a future billionaire, a famous artist, or someone with the most incredible life story you've ever heard.
That's the beauty of San Francisco. It breaks down barriers, it encourages people to connect, it reminds us that we all have a story.
And those connections often lead to amazing things, opportunities, collaborations, friendships. It's a city where magic happens, dreams are born, anything feels possible.
It challenges you to be your best, to think outside the box, to embrace the unexpected.
So if you're looking for a city that's going to inspire you, challenge you, leave you feeling transformed, San Francisco is calling.
Just remember, pack your walking shoes,
Oh, yeah.
an open mind, a sense of adventure.
Maybe a jacket. Karl the Fog can be a bit unpredictable.
Definitely. And don't forget your appetite.
Oh, the food?
San Francisco's food is a journey. You've got flavors and experiences from all around the world.
Man, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. We've talked about sourdough, burritos, seafood, but there's so much more. Dim sum in Chinatown, Ethiopian food in the Tenderloin, Korean barbecue in Japantown. The list goes on and on.
And don't forget those craft cocktails.
Oh, yes.
San Francisco has some of the best mixologists. They create drinks that are as beautiful as they are delicious.
Okay, I am officially craving a San Francisco adventure. But before we wrap up this whole deep dive, there's one more thing we need to talk about.
What's that?
The soul of San Francisco. What is it about this city that, really captures our imaginations? What makes us fall in love with it over and over again?
Ah, the soul of the city. It's one of those things you can't really define, but you feel it. When you're there, you feel it in every part of you. It's that spirit of resilience, the way it's always evolving, that unwavering belief in human connection. It's all of that and more.
It's a city that's been through a lot. Earthquakes, fires, social unrest.
Yeah.
But it always comes back stronger, even more vibrant, more determined than ever.
It's a city that embraces change, constantly reinventing itself, but never forgetting its history, its traditions.
And it's a city where people from every walk in life come together. Differences are celebrated, and everyone feels like they belong.
It's a city that makes you believe in dreams, inspires you to follow your passions, reminds you that anything is possible.
It's a city that gets under your skin, stays in your heart, keeps calling you back.
And that's the real magic of San Francisco. It's not just a place you visit, it's an experience that changes you.
Sounds like a place that really gets to you, San Francisco, for people who live there and people who just visit.
It really does. And what's so special, I think, is that you can kind of make your own experience. There's no right way to do San Francisco.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the city by the bay, I have a question for you.
Okay, shoot.
What about San Francisco surprised you the most? What really got you curious? What would you explore first if you had the chance to just wander those streets and take it all in?
Tough one. So much to choose from.
Right. Because really, the best way to experience San Francisco is to just create your own adventure, follow your own path, discover those hidden gems for yourself.
Exactly. Go out there, explorers. Let San Francisco work its magic.
Let it enchant you with the beauty, the history, the culture, that spirit.
Yeah, let it challenge how you see things, inspire you, maybe, to see the world a little differently.
And remember, this is just the start.
Oh, definitely. This is just the beginning of your deep dive.
There's a whole world waiting to be discovered in those streets, the parks, the neighborhoods, even in the hearts of the people.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, keep diving deep.